Everybody, if we could go ahead and get started, please. I would like to call to order the March 3rd, 2021 Special Magistrate Agenda for the City of West Palm Beach. My name is Keith Davis. I'm the Special Magistrate that has been appointed by the city to preside over today's agenda. If you're going to be speaking to me about any of the items on our agenda, your testimony does need to be under oath, so if you can stand and raise your right hand, I can swear everybody in at the same time. Thank you. Do each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You can all have a seat. If you have any cell phones, if you can make sure they're silenced so that they don't interrupt the proceedings, that'll be appreciated. When your case is called, please come to the podium to my right. And the way we'll proceed with each case is that I'll hear from the city first. The city will present the case through testimony. There may be photographs and images of other documents which will appear on the monitors. You'll have an opportunity to look at those. Once the city's concluded its presentation, you'll have an opportunity to ask any questions of the city's witness or witnesses. You'll have also an opportunity then to tell me about the case. And if you have additional documents, photographs, or other items, that would be the time to produce those, and I'll take a look at those as well. Once I've heard everything from both sides, in all likelihood today, I will enter an order that provides some relief on the matter in some form or fashion. I believe we'll start, are we starting with the construction cases, building department cases first? After that, we'll go to the folks who signed in and who are present, and then we'll continue through the rest of the agenda. So why don't we go ahead and get started?
First case number 1-1820 North Congress Avenue, 202 CE 20090234.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Attilio Bilal, Inspector for the City of West Palm Beach. I'm here representing the case for Inspector 3187 Tim Large. This is in regards to a water heater installed without proper permit or inspections. They are in the process of obtaining the permit right now, currently through plan review. The city's requesting 60 days to obtain all required permits or $25 a day fine thereafter. We obtain proper service via regular mail and certified mail. Property was initially posted on 9/14 of 2020.
All right, thank you. Is anybody here on behalf of the respondent for this case? It does not appear so, but with the posting and the certified mail, you do have proper notice. I will make that finding. Based on the testimony and the evidence that I've seen, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation and allow an additional 60 days for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $25 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 2-817 43rd Street, CE 20110264.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Richard McCoy with the City of West Palm Beach, Building Inspector. This property was cited for a slab originally that they poured without a permit. Then at this point now they have walls up and trusses with plywood on the top. I don't have any pictures of that process though. They were posted on 210. They were mailed and certified letter on 2/10/21. The city's asking for 24 hours and then $200 a day after that.
Has there been any progress in applying for a permit or getting nothing at all?
No.
Okay. Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent for this case? All right, well, with your posting in certified mail, I will find proper notice. So with the 24-hour request, what do you want to see happen in 24 hours? What do they have to do?
I'd like to at least, apply for a permit. They can do that. I would give them more time if they could, that would at least respond to the incident, but They don't seem to be doing anything.
Okay. Let me ask the city, how long does it normally take to turn these around? I mean, if 24 hours, they're not going to get this in 24 hours, so.
No, they're not gonna get it, but they could apply for it.
No, I mean, they won't even receive my order within 24
Right.
hours.
Okay. Oh, I see.
I had, so I have concerns about 24 hours. You know, I think at the minimum, 5 to 7 days to be able to get the order mailed
Yeah, I want to make sure that they get it.
and
still
have them receive it.
All right, well, I'm more comfortable with 7 days. I agree with that. So I will accept, or I will allow the respondent 7 days to comply thereafter. I will accept the recommendation for daily fines of $200 per day until compliance is achieved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Case number 35733 Valley Forge Road. That case is complied.
He
So that's
left.
complied?
No, the owner left. But,
All right, so are we on 35?
yes, we are.
Yes,
Okay.
35733 Valley Forge Road, CE 20110220.
Yes, Officer Luster with Code Enforcement. Officer Luster with Code Enforcement. The property was cited for failure to obtain a permit, required inspections, hurricane hazard, which was a tree at the sidewalk that was very thorny, obstructing the sidewalk with a large tree overhanging the sidewalk, cleaning up right-of-way, obstruction of right-of-way with other objects, numbering standards, and a landscape plan, and sodding, swell, and landscape maintenance. All have complied except for, they have applied for the permit, but they have not had any of the inspections yet for the permit for the fencing. And those, I'm asking for 40 days or $50 per day after that for those two items. The permit applied for and inspections for the fence.
How many days did you say?
40.
40?
Yes.
40, okay.
Yes, and $50 per day after.
So 105.1 and 110.3 are the remaining code sections that are in violation.
Correct.
All right,
Everything else is compliant.
all right, good. Is there anybody here on behalf of the respondent? You said he had to leave?
Yeah, he had to
Okay.
leave.
So he was here, he left. I will find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I'll find the property has complied with all violations that were cited, with the exception of City Code Sections 105.1 and 110.3. And it's my understanding the permit has been applied for and that's in process. I will accept the recommendation to allow an additional 40 days for compliance with the outstanding violations. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Yeah, I just want to put on the record, the property was posted on 2/17/2021, and cert mail was signed for on 11/23/2020.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This case number 19317 Putnam Ranch Road, CE 21010113, number 1937 Putnam Ranch Road.
Good morning. Richard Pasmino, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on January 11th, 2021. Certified mail was sent January 12th, 2021. I've met with the owner of the property who's here today. This property was cited for landscape areas must be grass, landscapings of the swale, location of artificial turf, and artificial turf. I've met with the property owners here at City Hall, talked about the violations, and we've also met with the zoning, with the landscape planner. I sent information on approved ground cover, what can be put instead. And as of today, there's no changes. The city's recommending 30 additional days for this property to come into compliance, or the city's asking for a $100 a day fine until compliance is achieved.
There we go. All right, I was just looking at the code sections. Yes, sir, if you can tell me your name and address, please, and then you can tell me about the case.
Yes, sir. I'm Charles Price, 317 Putnam Ranch Road, West Palm Beach. I'm basically, I had no idea that this was against code, and I just didn't out of the blue put artificial turf down. I go for walks now of COVID, and in a 2-mile area, I walk by 6 residents that have had artificial turf in their front yard for many years. So I just thought that basically what a great idea to save water and put artificial turf in, so I did. So then I brought this to their attention and basically I said, well, it's just the way it is. So what I did was then we met with the building and zoning people because I wanted to get a little background on it, and I got background, and he provided the documentation that I needed. And then he also said that it was the commissioners that made this decision because you allow artificial turf in the rear and side setbacks, but it can't be seen from the street. So we basically, I did some research, and I said, well, what kind of magnitude, and when they voted on this in 2019, did they realize the magnitude of how much artificial turf is being used? So I did a little research and driving around, and from Belvedere to the Palm Beach Canal, from Parker to the Intercoastal, there's approximately 50 residents that have artificial turf seen from the street in the front. I think this is for some reason, it was selected enforcement that we're being enforced, but other people aren't. This was a great financial burden on me. I've spent $10,000 on this property to make it look beautiful. If you drive down the street and see this property, it's probably one of the nicest streets, one of the nicest on the block. And like I said, conservation and saving water, it makes all the sense in the world, and it just didn't make any sense why you couldn't have it in the front yard. And evidently, for the last at least 4 years, the city of West Palm Beach has coexisted with artificial turf in the front of people's yards without any enforcement. So I spent $10,000 on this, and what I'm asking for, the next thing I did was after collecting this research, and code enforcement wanted a list of all the addresses I had, and I didn't feel comfortable about doing that. So I went to our commissioner, and I took pictures and presented that in front of Commissioner Lambert, and she was not aware of the magnitude. So I think when they had their hearing in 2019 or workshop, I don't think everything was taken into account. So she's looking into it right now. So what I'm asking for is 6 months to follow through with this, and in 6 months' time, I will be able to afford, if it doesn't come to be that you can have artificial in the front yard, I will be able to remove it and re-landscape this. But I think because all the properties and everything else in the magnitude, and again, we only looked in the south end. We've also seen it across the board. In fact, every week we find more of this product being used. So I don't know why the selective enforcement happened, but basically what we're asking for is 6 months, not only possibility it could be accepted, but also it would alleviate the financial burden of replacing this.
All right, thank you very much. Anything else from the city?
I had the landscape planner here today if he wanted to talk about the code, but I don't know.
I have the code.
It's up to you. I'm not asking for any. I'm asking if you have anything else you want to present to me. I'm
No,
not
not in
asking
this.
for anything else.
No.
I just want to put onto the record that the city objects to the use of the phrase selective enforcement. The city tries very hard to apply its ordinances equally across the board, and I appreciate that the respondent has done his research, but to come to the conclusion of selective enforcement, the city certainly feels that that is not warranted, it is conclusory, and jumps to a conclusion. And I can appreciate the fact that he's talked to Commissioner Lambert, and I don't know where she is in her process or what she is doing to look into it, but I would ask that, Magistrate, that you put into place what the city is asking for 30 days and $100 a day.
Thank you very much. Anything else, sir?
Yes, I mean, I did produce pictures and everything else, and I would ask that you please consider, because there's another property in question that also has it that was given 6 months to remove it. So I think that you're asking, quite frankly, to remove it in 30 days is going to put an undue burden of, in COVID, I'm only working one job instead of two, and I'd like to be able to remove it and do it, but I also realize that we are in the process of speaking to commissioners, and I've already spoke to Commissioner Lambert, and I'm waiting for her to get back with me. So I think that it would be a real shame if I had to remove this, and then we went through the process, and then the ordinance was changed.
All right, thank you very much. First of all, I do find proper notice. Mr. Price is present today at the hearing. So, I'll say a couple things. This is not the first artificial turf case I've seen. I know that they are prosecuted, and I know that they are handled by the city on a regular basis. I see these cases, and I'm sure the other magistrate who serves in this capacity sees them as well. The code is what the code is. I am obligated to rule on what the code is on the books. I appreciate that you're speaking with the elected officials, and in terms of a policy decision on artificial turf, that is where the policy decisions are made. That is not within the purview of what I am charged with doing. I don't make policy decisions. Those are the folks that do. So if there is going to be a policy change, that is the level that it happens. But again, I will enforce. I will make rulings based on the code that is in place at this time. So based on that, I do find the property is in violation as cited in the notice. I'm willing to give you a little more time than 30 days. I'll give you 60 days, but 6 months is to me not reasonable. So I will give you 60 days to comply with the violation, and after that, there will be daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved. And, if there's a change in direction at the policy level, so be it, but that is not before me today, and I have no control over that. So that will be my order in this case. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Price,
Yes,
behind you.
I'm sorry.
Copy of the order.
Thank you. Can I just say one more thing?
Very briefly.
Was there a precedent set on another property that has the same citation, but they were given 6 months to remove?
I can't answer that, but I don't know.
Number 2339 Putnam Ranch Road, CE 21010114. Number 20.
Richard Pazmino, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. This is a similar code case. This property was cited for landscaped areas must be grass, landscaping of the swales, location of artificial turf, and artificial turf on the property. This property was cited January 11th, 2021. Certified mail was sent January 12th, 2021. The property owner is here. I've met with him as well, same time at City Hall, discussed the violations at the property and how to come into compliance, explained the code section, and provided information on approved ground cover. The city's recommending 30 days to come into compliance, or the city's asking for $100 a day fine.
All right, let me hear from the respondent. Yes, sir, if you can
Yes,
tell
my
me
name
your
is
name
Brad
and address.
Moselle. I'm at 339 Putnam Ranch Road. And part of the reason why I'm here today and I didn't just comply is because I waited a long time to put in the artificial turf. It cost me a lot of money. I haven't been working regular because of COVID. Even our inspector didn't respond to us for 2 weeks, I'm assuming because of COVID. So everything has been delayed. Even getting somebody out, even if I wanted to comply, would take much more time than what I think that you would realize. If you were having something done on your house, nobody can come right away and do it. I also met with Christina Lambert, And she believes that this is a problem, that she didn't get the full extent. She had to go back and look at her meeting notes, and she asked for film of the meeting so she could see why and what the reason that they did not grant the front yards to be, covered with the turf. So I do think that it is definitely a selective compliance, and I do that because it is impossible to see what is in our neighborhood and say that it was just picked out randomly. And I have derelict lawns on my street that were not picked up the same day that my turf was. I had to tell Mr. Pasmino, I've looked at a pod in the front yard for over a year. That is a place where you put your furniture in to move. It's been in the front yard for over a year. Nobody ever did a thing about it. The yard next to it has chairs with the grass almost 2 feet high between. Mr. Pasmino has cited them, but I had to tell him to. So that is selective compliance, and the city can say whatever they'd like, but there is artificial turf on the side of Southern Boulevard as you come off. Our president went by it over and over. The city it's still there. So at one of our big antique shops on Antique Row, there's turf in the sidewalk in front of the antique shops. Cedric DuPont has never been cited for that. I know, because I checked. So I just think that if you're going to make people comply, fairness is all we're asking for. We just want fairness. If my yard has to be changed and the rocks have to be taken out, then everybody has to. Then it's not fair for me if they don't make everybody. There are several hundred yards with rock in the front at the city. There's yards with turf that has been let go. It's in a more expensive neighborhood than mine, but it's been let go. So am I being picked on because I'm in the 300 block and I don't have as much money as the 200 block and I can fight to keep it? Or I don't know. But I can tell you I don't have enough money. I haven't been working regularly to take this out in a very short time. You told Mr. Price 60 days. You probably couldn't even get anybody in 60 days that would be willing to come and do it if I had the money. So I don't understand where the city doesn't make everybody comply, and they make me comply. I don't understand that. I wish they could explain it to me, but even Mr. Pasmino cannot explain it. And then when he told me to change my rock, he told me to put bahia grass in. That's what the city wants. And I said, do you know what bahia grass is? He says, that's what we want. I said, that's highway grass. Even their plan says it has to be seen from a distance. I'm not being given things that I asked him, please, you come over and tell me what I need. I'll change my rocks. I don't want to change my grass, but I'll change my rocks by the street. Tell me what you want. I'll send you something in paper form. It would not even take the time to come out and stand in front and tell me what he wants. I want to put in a fern that they say, but the city 2 years ago or 3 years ago put in a street in front of my house. They redid the street. There's such a peak in the middle of the street that my yard floods halfway up the yard. I have lived there for over 30 years and never had water halfway up my street, halfway up my yard. So I couldn't keep anything in the front. I've already put like 10 yards in there. I'm not even working. It's COVID. The city's coming down on me. Everybody feels attacked by this. I mean, everybody in the world say, feel sorry for your neighbors, help your neighbors. But then $100 a day if you don't comply? How can I comply if I don't have money to comply? That tells me that the city of West Palm Beach has no compassion for people in their city with COVID. I may live in a nice neighborhood, but I bought there a long time ago when I could afford it. I couldn't even buy back in that neighborhood right now. So I'm looking for a little compassion. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate your comments. Is there anything else from the city on this one?
No.
Okay.
Magistrate, just another small note from me. Again, the respondent talked about selective compliance. That term, selective compliance itself, I'm not sure exactly what he means. I assume he means something else, but again, I feel he's drawing some legal conclusions that Perhaps it's not appropriate to draw because I don't think he's an attorney and understands the magnitude of the laws underlying, not only our effective ordinances, our ordinances in place, and our processes and our program of code enforcement. We do not employ selective enforcement, and we strive to, again, enforce our ordinances equally upon everyone as our program dictates.
Could I respond to that?
Final, are you
Okay,
through?
this would be my final words.
Go ahead.
If that is the case, then how could he drive down a street with 2 derelict lawns, more that are, I'm not going to complain about the older people in my neighborhood. There's a lot of older people that their grass is dead, just dead, and the houses are not well taken care of. I'm not here to bash anybody's house, in fact, I help a lot of them. But when you drive down the street and you see something that's this high, growing through chairs and canopies that are not allowed by the city, and a big giant pod that's been there for over a year, if they'd even drive down the street even one time in a year's period of time, they would have known it had been sitting there. How can that be construed by any other means than they picked one and didn't pick the other? I mean, even, it's just common sense.
Okay. I appreciate your comments. I understand what you're saying. In response, I can tell you this. I can't, direct the code enforcement staff on how they do their jobs. There's a team of officers. I can tell you this. There are 2 magistrates, myself and 1 other magistrate, and we each hear cases like this every month. And our agendas have between 50 and I've had agendas up to 150 cases every month. And I have no reason to believe the other magistrate's agenda is not equally loaded with cases. So, just from what I see, this is a very busy department. They're working. And as I told Mr. Price, these are not the first 2 artificial turf cases I've ever seen. So, I can tell you that. I am going to enter the same compliance deadline. I'm going to 60 days, and thereafter daily fines of $100 per day. But I want to tell you, both you and Mr. Price, he's still in the audience, if you make good faith efforts to try and comply within that 60 days and truly can't get it done because you can't get the appropriate people to do it, then ask for more time. I would entertain a request for additional time if I see that there's been a good faith effort to comply, but it simply was not possible. And then, every agenda that I have has at the end, we have a list of cases where folks are asking for reductions in the fine. And I take that into, again, if there was good faith effort and circumstances exist that warrant a reduction. In this case, I mean, if the city, I understand you're talking to commissioners, and if something happens at that level, I certainly would take that into consideration in entertaining any kind of a reduction in the event that you're not able to comply within either the 60 days I'm ordering today or any extension that may be granted in the future. I can offer you that, and I do offer you that, both of you, on these matters. But again, under the current city code, these are violations that have been established, and my order today reflects what I feel is the appropriate remedy, with the caveat of the information that I just provided and what I've just offered you.
Would we have to come back to this location, or could we call our code enforcement
Well, I
agent?
think that the way it would work is you would make the request through the code enforcement. They would put it on an agenda, and then either myself or the other magistrate would hear it. Wouldn't hurt for you to attend. If you and the city can agree to an extension of time, I'm always happy to sign agreed orders. I don't like to get in between people that reach an understanding and agreement. But if there's not, then I'm happy to hear from you again. So I
Okay.
can answer it that way.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all we have for contested matters. Next case number 319 Comata Street, 209 CE 21020282.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 319 Clematis Street, suite number 209 was initially cited on February 18th, 2021. The certified mail was sent on 2019-21. The property was posted on February 19th, 2021. Property was cited for 22-32-A and 82-144. I had posted the property and subsequently did receive a phone call from Attorney Brown, who indicated at that time that she would go online and actually pay for the license. As of this morning, the license has not been paid. So the city's inclined to give Attorney Brown 30 additional days in order to comply. Did she? Okay. All right. I was just informed that she paid it.
Oh,
So-
okay. So it's complied?
Right, yes.
All right.
Okay,
good.
thank you.
Just in time.
Number 4. Number 4, 4149 North Haverhill Road, 1607 CE 21020021.
Which unit number is it?
Number 4, 4149 Haverhill, 1607.
Good morning, Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on February 1st, 2021 for failure to renew its rental license and certificate of use. It's also a repeat violation of case number CE 18040626. Certified mail was returned and the property was posted on 2/2/21. Excuse me. As of right now, there's still a balance of $136.48, which brings it to 31 days out of compliance. Now, Special Magistrate, this property was managed by a previous management company, and only yesterday we found out that there's a new management company. I received correspondence from them this morning and sent the information for payment as of this morning, but it still has not been paid. The property owner lives in France,
Okay.
so I'm going to leave it up to the discretion of the special magistrate to impose whatever fee for the repeat violation as he sees fit. Also, on the PAPA, it shows the previous management company, which still shows as of this morning that the previous management company still has ownership of this property.
Okay. All right, well, you do have proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, the property is in violation. As cited, the violation is a repeat violation based on the 2018 case. They're in France, but are you in contact with them? Or?
We don't, when the application was initially made for the license, it was made under the previous management company's phone number, email address, everything. We don't have any contact information whatsoever on those folks in France.
But, so you have the address, though, to mail it to them now?
No. All we have in the system for these individuals are a photocopy of their passports. That is how I found out that they live in France.
Okay, well, I mean, you know, the law is pretty clear on what you have to do for notice, and if you know, there is a burden that falls on the property owner to make sure that those things are current. So, given the proximity of the change in management, though, I'm going to allow them 60 days to comply, and then there will be $200 daily.
Yeah, but this
fine.
is also a repeat violation, so
I beg your pardon?
it's a repeat violation.
Oh, that's right. When was the repeat violation noticed?
Back on 2/1, sir.
February 1st?
Yes, sir.
All right, then in that case, since this is the repeat, and I did make that finding, thank you. I will find that, again, that this is a repeat. I will impose those daily fines of $200 per day beginning February 1st when the repeat violation was discovered and continuing until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 5, 4149 North Haverhill Road, 1609, CE 21020022.
This property too was cited for failure to renew its rental license and certificate of use. Original violation was sent out on 2/1/2021. Certified mail was returned. Property was posted on 2/2/21. I've had no contact with the property owner. As of this morning, there's still a balance due of $136.48 for the rental license. The property is occupied. The city is requesting 10 days to come into compliance or $100 a day thereafter.
Did you you posted, and did you do certified mail as well?
Certified mail was returned. The property was posted on February 2nd.
All right, then you do have proper notice. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. You want, what did you say, 30 days?
10 days or
10
100,
days?
yes, sir.
And
It's
200.
just a renewal. It's just to go ahead and
Just a
pay
renewal.
online or mail it in.
Then I think 10 days is reasonable, and what's the daily fine that you want?
100.
I'll accept that recommendation, $100 per day until compliance is achieved after the 10 days.
Thank you.
Number 6 is complied, 5213 Spruce Avenue, CE 21010213. Number 7 is complied, 723 55th Street, CE 21010344. Number 8, 9, 10 19th Street, CE 21010212.
Good morning, Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited January 22nd, posted February 12th, certified mail was sent out January 26th. I've had no contact with the property owners. Property was cited for 944462, 1816A, and 94302A4. At this time, the city is requesting an additional 30 days for code violations 944462 and 1816A, or $50 per day, and 60 days for code sections 94302A4, $50 a day until compliance is achieved.
So is that like a cinder block wall between two vacant lots? Is that what?
Yeah, and it's like falling over.
Okay.
So.
All right, well, you do have proper notice. I will find property remains in violation as cited based on these pictures in your testimony. I'll accept the recommendation to allow 30 days to comply with the landscape maintenance and the clean and sanitary, and 60 days to comply with the wall maintenance. And if either of those compliance deadlines are not met, daily fines of $50 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 9, 918 22nd Street, 21010308.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited January 25th. Property was posted February 12th. Certified mail was signed for on January 28th. I've had no contact with the property owner. Property was cited for 1816A, 1816B, 18215B, 74-4C4, and 74-4C5. At this time, the city is requesting an additional 15 days or in order to abate.
Okay. All right, I've reviewed the evidence. I will find proper notice in this case. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. Based on the evidence, I will find that those violations constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I'll accept your recommendation, allow an additional 15 days for the respondent to comply. After that, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violations, and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Number 10, 804 8th Street, CE 201200078.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 804 8th Street was originally cited on February 8th of 2021 for clean and sanitary conditions, excessive overgrowth, failure to comply, and alleyway cleanup. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on February 8th of 2021, as well as City Hall. All violations are still current. The city is asking that the property come into compliance within 5 days or abatement.
And this is the vacant lot between the two houses? Is that vacant?
Yes,
Is it-
sir.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's, all right, I do find proper notice with certified mail and the posting based on the testimony and the evidence. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. Based on the evidence, those violations clearly constitute a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow an additional 5 days for the respondent to comply. Thereafter, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violations, and assess the costs.
Number 11 is complied, 629 Clear Lake Avenue, CE 21020086. Number 12, 715 Douglas Avenue, CE 21020120.
Officer Phil Cartwright, City of West Palm Beach. The property at 715 Douglas Avenue was originally cited on February 8th of 2021 for clean and sanitary conditions, excessive overgrowth, graffiti, board and securing vacant property, painting of boards, failure to comply, and address characters. Service was achieved by certified mail. The property was posted on February 8th of 2021, as well as City Hall. The city is asking that the property come into compliance within 7 days on Ordinance 78-6, or $50 per day. All other violations, the city is asking for 5 days or abatement.
What is 214A paint boards?
When they obtain a boarding certificate to secure the property, the boards have to be painted the same color as the house. So that's an ordinance that goes with the board.
Okay, so the abatement would be the city would secure the property and then they'd
That
paint
is
them
correct.
pursuant to code?
Yes, sir.
I understand. Is this occupied or is this?
It's vacant.
So it's vacant, there are like vagrants and,
Yes, I was called out to the property 2 weeks ago, actually, when this was originated with the police department. There were vagrants that were on the property, but the police did remove them. So that's why we're trying to secure the building.
all right. I do find proper notice in this case based on the testimony and the evidence. I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation for violation of Code Section 78-6. I'll allow an additional 7 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $50 per day will accrue until compliance is achieved. For all other violations, I find that those constitute a threat to public health, safety, and welfare. This being a vacant and exposed structure, I will authorize the city, after 5 days,
Thank you.
give the respondent 5 days to comply. Thereafter, there will be, or the city will be authorized to enter the property, abate, and assess the costs.
Thank you, sir.
Number 13, 2904 East Tamron Avenue, CE 21010264, the business of Davis Auto Repair and Towing.
Good morning.
Morning.
Ray Young, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 2904 East Tamron Avenue was initially cited on 121 of 21 with a notice of violation hand-delivered on 127 of 21. Certified mail was sent on 122/21. Property was cited for 82-144 and 2232A. No contact has been made with the owner. Special magistrate, the city requests an additional 30 days to come into compliance for $200 per day until compliance is achieved on the COU.
All right, you do have proper notice in this case with hand delivery and certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. Note for the record, no relation between me and Davis Towing. I will accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 14, 3223 Windsor Avenue, CE 21010320.
Ray Young, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 3223 Windsor Avenue was initially cited on 126 of 21 with a notice of violation posted at the property in City Hall on 128/21. Certified mail was sent on 127/21. Property was cited for 18162A, 2232A, 7434A1J, and 18103J. No contact has been made with the owner, but 18162A and 2232A are complied. All other code sections still remain. Therefore, the city requests an additional 15 days to come into compliance with 7434A1J and 18103J, or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
That's funny, usually it's the other way around. Usually the rental license and certificate of use are the ones that don't comply. All right, I do find proper notice in this case. I will find property remains in violation of City Code Sections 18103J and 7434A1J, but has complied with other sections cited in the notice. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow an additional 15 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 15.
Magistrate, before we move on, would you be willing to give them a little bit more time? Because I think it's going to take them a few days just to get the order. And then
Sure.
to get
30 days?
to get the house painted.
Yeah, it's selective areas, but no objections to
Oh,
the 30 days.
it's not the whole
No,
house?
just the front fascia area.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
So it's
didn't
just a little
realize
touch-up
that.
paint.
Okay, I apologize.
All right, then we'll leave it as originally ordered at 15 days. Okay.
Number 15, 2708 North Australian Avenue, number 6, CE 21010329, Destiny Step Bail Bonds.
Rayleigh Young City, West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 2708 North Australian Avenue, number 6, was initially cited on 1/26 of 21 with a notice violation posted at the property and City Hall on 1/27/21. Certified mail was sent on the same day, 1/27/21. Property was cited for 82144, 2232A, 105.1, and FBC 110.3. Contact has been made with the owner, special magistrate, and 82144 and 2232A are complied at this time. Code sections 105.1 and FBC 110.3 are still outstanding. The business owner is currently working on obtaining the sign permit. Therefore, the city requests an additional 45 days to come into compliance, or $150 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right. The sign permit. Okay. I do find proper notice with the posting in the certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of City Code Section 105.1, and also with building code inspection requirements at 110.3 of the building code, but has complied with the other sections that were cited in the notice. I'll accept the city's recommendation and allow 45 additional days for the outstanding violations to be cured. Thereafter, daily fines of $150 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 16 is complied, 817 36th Street, CE 21010288. Number 17, 932 39th Street, CE 21020015.
Good morning, Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 932 39th Street was cited on February 1st of 2021. The property was posted on February 5th of 2021, and certified mail was sent on February 2nd of 2021. The property was cited for 26-35B, 94482A, 94487B1, and 94-71C. The property has since complied with 94-487B1 and 94-71C. It is a repeat violation. The property has been out of compliance for 30 days and remains out of compliance. The city is asking for $100 per day until the property comes into compliance.
What was the date the repeat was observed?
February 1st,
February 1st?
correct?
All right, I do find proper notice in this case. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property has complied with 94-487B1 and 94-71C, but remains in violation of 94-482A. Based on the evidence, I will find that violation is a repeat violation based on the 2019 case. I will assess daily fines of $100 per day beginning February 1st of 2021 when the repeat violation was observed, and continuing each day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 18 3704 Westview Avenue, CE 21020019.
Natalie Clark, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. 3704 Westview Avenue was cited on February 1st of 2021. The property was posted on February 5th of 2021. A certified mail was sent on February 4th of 2021. The property was cited for 18-106K, 18-214A, 18-265, 78-6, 94-442E, 94-482A, and 94-487B1. The property has since complied with 18-214A and 18-265. The city is asking for a split order for code sections 18-106A, 94-442E. The city is asking for an additional 30 days or $100 per day. For code sections 78-6, 94-482A, and 94-487B1, the city is asking for an additional 10 days or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
All right, first, I do find proper notice with posting in the certified mail. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I will find the property has complied with 18-214A and 18-265, but remains in violation of the other sections cited in the notice of violation. I'm going to accept your recommendation. I want to make sure I got it right. For 78-6, 94-482A, and 94-487B1, which are the numbering standards, the parking, and the prohibited vehicles. 10 days to comply, thereafter daily fines of $100 per day.
Correct.
For 18106K and 94-442E, which is the landscape maintenance and landscaping of the swales and parkway. 30 days to comply after that.
100.
Because of the conditions, that those are health, safety, welfare violations, and the city would be authorized to enter the property, abate, and assess the costs. Okay?
Thank
Got
you.
it. Thank you.
Is that what is that abatement? You wanted 30 days under abatement for this?
No, I'm sorry. 30 days or $100 per day.
Oh, I thought you had asked
Not
for an
abatement,
abatement.
I'm sorry.
We'll change that to $100 per day then.
Case number 21, 800 Fernwood Drive, CE 21020221.
Richard Pazmino, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on February 13th. Certified mail sent February 16th, and the property and City Hall posted February 18th. This property was posted for overgrowth, clean and sanitary conditions, failure to comply, trees, hedges obstructing the right-of-way, hedge height excessive, and landscape maintenance. I've had no contact with the owner of the property. As of today, it looks like they started working on the violation, clearing the sidewalk at least, but the violations are not complied. The work is incomplete. The
So
city is
some progress, but not enough to comply it.
Yeah, they cut some of the stuff growing into the sidewalk, but not enough. It's still grown more at the south end.
Okay.
So the city's asking for 14 additional days for this property to comply all violations, and if not, the city is asking for an order to abate the violations, since they do cause a safety issue with the sidewalk being blocked on the main street.
So these pictures are dated February 11th. Is there,
Yeah,
you said
there
they
should be
started
some
doing
more.
some work? Is it still oh, okay, there we go. I see.
Yesterday, or the second.
But yeah, no, that's still overhanging quite a bit.
Yeah, the height's still excessive, and it is growing into the sidewalk at the south end.
All right. I do find proper notice with the certified mail and the posting. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I do find the property continues to remain in violation as cited. The condition of all the landscaping is a health, safety, welfare concern, so I will accept the city's recommendation to allow the respondent 14 additional days to comply. After that, the city will be authorized to enter the property, abate the violations, and assess the costs.
Thank you.
Number 21 is complied, 303 Grayman Drive, CE 21010362. Number 23, 65 Avenida Hermosa, CE 21010377.
Good morning, Sonia Bin, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on January 29th. The notice of violation was posted on February 1st. Certified mail was sent on January 29th. This property was cited for 34102A, 7434A, 1H, 18106A, 94302A4, and 9471C. I have made contact with the property manager. The property is now in compliance for code 34102A, 7434A, 1H, 18106A, and 94302A4. The property is still in violation for code 9471C. The property is requesting an additional 30 days to gain compliance, or $100 per day $100 per day until compliance is achieved. And I spoke to the property manager about my recommendation, and he's okay with it.
All right, you said 30 days?
Yes.
And so the only one that remains in violation
Outdoor
is
storage,
the outdoor storage.
9471C.
Okay. All right, I do find proper notice with the posting in certified mail. Based on your testimony and the evidence, I'll find the property has complied with all violations cited in the notice except for 9471C regarding outdoor storage. For that violation, I'll allow an additional 30 days for the respondent to comply, and thereafter daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 24, 3712 South Olive Avenue, CE 2102023.
Sonia Bin, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on January 18. The notice of violation was posted on, the property was cited on February 18. The property was posted on February 18. Certified mail was sent on February 18. This property was cited for code 18103E, 18214B, 18215B, and 18265. I have not made contact with the property owner. The property is still in violation for all code 18103B, 18103E, 18214B, 18215B, and 18265. The city is requesting an additional 5 days to obtain boarding certificate or abatement.
So you want 5 days?
To obtain the boarding certificate or abatement.
What do you want to do with 18103B? Would the boarding take care of that? Does the boarding cure all the violations?
The boarding will cure the broken window and the open door. And hold on.
I think you still have 18103B that would be outstanding, wouldn't it?
Correct. So for that one, I'll give additional 60 days to gain compliance, or $100 per day. For 18103B,
Is this a vacant
yes,
property?
it's vacant,
Okay.
yes.
All right, I will find proper notice. I will find that the property remains in violation as cited. For 18103B, I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow the respondent an additional 60 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved. For the remaining violations, I'll allow the respondent 5 days to comply. Thereafter, by obtaining a boarding certificate, thereafter the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violations, and assess the cost. This is a vacant property, and
Yes.
the unsecured property does rise to a health, safety, and welfare concern.
Thank you. Next case number 25, 518 Biscayne Drive, CE 2101000.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, 518 Biscayne Drive, was cited on January 11th, 2021. Certified mail sent out February 4th, 2021, and the property was posted February 17th, 2021. Violations 18162A and 2232A which is for a rental license and certificate of use. There's no previous history of obtaining a license, and there are occupants. It is being rented, and there are occupants at this location. So the recommendation would be 30 days to comply, or $200 a day thereafter.
All right. I will find proper notice. I will find the property remains in violation as cited, accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 30 days to comply, thereafter daily fines of $200 per day until compliance is achieved.
Number 26, 1510 Florida Avenue, CE 21010198.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. This property was cited January 19th, 21, and certified mail February 4th, 2021, and posted February 17th, 2021. And the violations are 18162A and 2232A, which is rental license. The previous license expired September 30th of last year. And no contact with the owner and have not been renewed. There are tenants on the property, and I'm asking 10 days to comply or $100 a day thereafter.
All right. I will find proper notice with the certified mail. I will find the property remains in violation as cited, accept the 10-day recommendation for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 27, 515 Canoga Drive, CE 21010215.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement. This property is cited on January 20th, 21, and posted January 22nd of 21, and certified mail sent out January 28th of 21. Contact has been made with the owner. We made an agreement to give him an additional 90 days to comply, or $100 a day thereafter. Those violations are 94448D1, tree permit, and 94446-2-C-3, and tree abuse of a tree. So 90 days to comply, $100 a day thereafter.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to accept the recommendation. What does compliance look like in a case like this? Do they have
He's
to
gonna replace the trees.
He's going to replace the trees? Okay.
Yeah, there's some palm trees that were removed, and some of them that don't need to be replaced, like the pine tree doesn't have to be replaced.
Okay. All right. I will find proper notice. I will find property remains in violation as cited and accept the 90-day recommendation for compliance. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Number 28, 901 Belvedere Road, CE 21020057.
Don Williams, Code Enforcement, cited this property on February 3rd, 2021. Certified mail sent out February the 4th, 21. Posted the property February 17th, 2021. And those violations are 94402B-2-5, prohibited portable signs, and 94483-B. Location of parking and loading zones are being blocked. And 94485A, the use of parking and loading areas. 94485 and 2D, disabled parking markings need to be redone. And 94315A, dumpster need to be screened. No contact with the owners of the property. I'm asking 30 days to comply, or $100 a day after that.
How many days?
30.
30, thanks.
100.
All right. I will find proper notice. Based on the testimony and evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 29, 701 North Point Parkway, 340, CE 21010187, ADT Total Source.
Good morning, Magistrate. I need to be sworn in.
Oh, you need to be sworn in?
Yes.
You swear or affirm under penalties of perjury your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Paul McFarland, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer. On January 15th, the business at 701 North Point Parkway was cited for a business tax receipt expired and certificate of use. Business was posted February 1st, 2021. Certified mail was sent January 19th. Certified mail was returned January 24th.
All right. Take that down. That's me.
I've made several attempts to make contact with the business owner. The business is still being advertised on property. With that being said, city's recommending 10 days to come into compliance, or a one-time fine of $250 and $100 a day until compliance is achieved on the COU.
Did you say 100 a day or 200 a day?
One-time fine of
certificate of use.
$250 and 100 a
100,
day for the
okay.
COU.
All right, you do have proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. There I am again. I'll accept your recommendation, allow 10 days to comply. Thereafter, on 82-144, we'll do a one-time $250 fine, and on 2232A, daily fines of $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Number 30, 1014 Green Pine Boulevard, D2, CE21010253.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On January 21st, I received a complaint from the property manager at 1014 Green Pine Boulevard, Unit D2. Complaint of unit being occupied without license, plumbing issues. I think there was one more. Yeah, plumbing issues. An unfinished bathroom that was not done. That was handed over to the building department. The property was posted January 27th. Certified mail was sent January 22nd. Certified mail was received January 25th. I've had made no contact with the property owner. There's still no license in our system. With that being said, city's recommending 30 days to come into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
All right, thank you. I do find proper notice with the received certified mail. I'll find the property remains in violation as cited, having reviewed the evidence and heard the testimony. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow an additional 30 days for the respondent to comply. After that, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 31, 1973 Brandywine Road, CE21010267.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. The property at 1973 Brandywine Boulevard, Unit 102. I received a complaint from the tenant on January 21st of unsanitary conditions, mold in the unit. Tenant did provide findings of an independent mold test, finding that mold did reside in the unit. The property management office was posted January 27th. Certified mail was sent January 22nd. Certified mail was received January 25th. At the time of posting, I did verbalize to the property manager on site of the violations and how to cure said violations. I've made no contact with the owner or the property management since that time. So with that being said, city's recommending 30 days to come into compliance, or $100 a day till compliance is achieved. To gain compliance on this one, city's recommending that a comprehensive mold test be provided by property owner, showing the levels of mold that have been decreased.
All right, with the certified mail that was received, you have proper service. Based on the evidence and the testimony, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'm going to accept that recommendation from the city. I'll allow 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day, and what we want to see is a mold test by a properly licensed company that verifies mold levels have been reduced to whatever the acceptable levels are, or gone, whatever the acceptable, either, whatever it is. Yeah.
Correct.
Number
I'm not
30.
sure any level is acceptable, but.
Yeah, no.
Number 32, 801 North Point Parkway, 153, CE21020069, Ash Management.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. The business at 801 North Point Parkway, Unit 153. I made several attempts to make contact with the business owner. I did make contact with him. I went over how to bring his business into compliance. As of yesterday, no action has been taken by the business owner. Business was posted February 11th. Certified mail was sent February 4th. Certified mail was returned February 12th. I have made no other contact with the business owner. I did confirm with the property management on site that the business is still operating from that location. With that being said, city's recommending 10 days to come into compliance or a one-time fine of $250.
Okay, we'll find proper notice with the posting and the returned certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I'll find the property remains in violation as cited. We'll give the respondent an additional 10 days to comply. Thereafter, a one-time $250 fine will be assessed.
Number 33, 6901 Okeechobee Boulevard, C14, Great Clips, CE21020110.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. The business at 6901 Okeechobee Boulevard, Unit C14, Great Clips. I did make contact with someone over the phone, went over how to get the business into compliance. I did also visit the location, went over how to get the business into compliance. I want this to go on record that the business has been without a license for the past 3 years. With that being said, the business was posted February 9th. Certified mail was sent February 8th. Certified mail was returned February 14th. But once again, I did make contact with 2 representatives of the business. As of yesterday, no action has been taken by the business owner. With that being said, city is recommending 10 days to come into compliance or a one-time fine of $250 and $100 a day on the COU until compliance is achieved.
Okay, with the posting and this returned certified mail, you have proper notice. I'll find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow 10 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed on 2232A, and a one-time fine of $250 will be imposed up for 82-144.
Thank you.
Number 34 is complied, 611 Maddox Street, CE20110162. Number 36 is complied, 205 Gregory Road, CE20110227. Number 37, 7110 South Dixie Highway, CE20120109.
Okay. Officer Lester, West Palm Code. The property was posted on 2/17/2021, returned mail on 12/21/2020. The property was cited for exterior doors and window weather tightening and inoperable container in the rear of the property, exterior painting, excessive growth of weeds, painting of the building itself, garbage, debris, and overgrowth in the hedges, outdoor storage, and screening of the rear of property. I have spoke with the business owners on site, and this morning I spoke with the property owner, and they're gonna have to, that's not all of it. The container in the rear of the property, they're gonna either have to remove the container or go through building in regards to a permit. He says it's being stored there for the flower shop that had been closed for 9 months due to COVID. And that's where he put the live flowers and keep them in a cool refrigerated trailer. container. And I informed that they didn't have a permit, so he's gonna have to obtain one or remove the container. And the exterior roof in the rear needs to be repaired and or replaced. So he's asking for 6 months or $100 per day to come into compliance. I'm agreeable.
All right. I find proper notice with the posting and the return of certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the recommendation to allow an additional 6 months to comply. Thereafter, though, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 38 is complied, 629 Forest Hill Boulevard, CE 201-20200. Number 39, 7405 South Flagler Drive, CE 210100052.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property was posted on 2/17/2021. Cert mail was returned on 1/14/2021. The property was cited for rental license, certificate of use, and engaging in a business without a license. I have spoke with the property manager, and she did apply for the rental license, and she inadvertently made a mistake on the license. It actually is going to be a vacation rental, which she has to obtain the state license for that. So I informed her of those different avenues she had to obtain that license. So we're asking for 30 more days or $100 per day. And it also needed inspection for that rental license.
Okay. All right, with the posting and the return certified mail, you have proper notice. I will find, based on the evidence, property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation to allow an additional 30 days to comply. Thereafter, daily fines of $100 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, I think that, is that it till, when do we come back? 11?
What time is it? 11:30. 11:30, I guess.
Okay, well, whenever we're ready to, for the next agenda, we'll be back, but we are done with the 9 o'clock agenda, so we'll stand adjourned.